Grace encountered a strange occurrence while cooking. The eggs she had just bought turned out to be hollow inside. At first, she thought it was just one problematic egg. However, when she firmly squeezed another egg, it crumbled into pieces as well. To her surprise, as she proceeded to crack each egg one by one, she discovered that the entire carton was filled with rotten eggs. But this wasn't the only bizarre incident. In the afternoon, while Grace was engrossed in cleaning the windows, she was oblivious to the wall behind her, gradually inching closer. Within seconds, Grace found herself trapped and unable to move. Just as she was about to be flattened like a pancake, the wall miraculously returned to its original position. Initially, Grace brushed it off, thinking she was just exhausted and experiencing hallucinations. She didn't give it much thought and continued with her window cleaning. However, to her astonishment, she noticed the imprints left behind from the earlier compression. It was at this moment that Grace realized the events that had transpired were indeed real. As she pondered over the peculiar occurrences, Grace suddenly recalled her first day after moving into the neighborhood. All the neighbors had gathered to throw her a warm welcome party, their faces adorned with genuine smiles. However, there was one person who seemed jittery and out of place, leaving everyone perplexed. They brushed it off, assuming she had some mental issues, as this community was renowned for being the happiest place on earth, meticulously crafted over many years by a man named Frank. Despite this, Grace couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. The following day, she took a ride on the community's sightseeing bus until it reached the final stop. Just as the driver was about to make the return trip, Grace spotted a smoke-billowing plane flying overhead. An ominous feeling instantly gripped her, and her fears were confirmed when the plane crashed into a nearby mountaintop shortly after. Grace immediately called out to the driver to stop the bus, eager to rush to the crash site and offer assistance. However, the driver informed her that community regulations prohibited him from deviating from the designated route. Left with no choice, Grace disembarked and set off on foot, running towards the plane's crash site. A signboard along the highway warned of hazardous materials ahead, with access restricted to security personnel only. The sun beat down mercilessly on the desolate plateau as Grace trekked for a considerable distance. Eventually, she reached a winding mountain path that led to a peculiar structure at the summit, devoid of any human presence. Cautiously approaching the building, Grace noticed it was entirely encased in glass. As if drawn by an invisible force, she found herself placing her hands on the thick glass facade. The moment she made contact, her vision was flooded with a sea of red.